Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we finally have from Jamila Woods, Water Made Us. I remember being so frustrated in 2016 when Jamila Woods' debut album Heaven just did not work for me. I thought the writing was pretty strong, and she was surrounded by a lot of talent, but the musical execution just did not resonate, from her delivery to the fragmented compositions to the patchy production. Then there was her sophomore album in 2019, which I skipped. Now, going back to it now, I can appreciate the studied focus and the personal resonance that she found in exploring historical black figures, but the lyrics could also feel undercooked. The synths really clashed with the organic guitars and percussion in a really awkward, somewhat tasteful but over-arranged way, and Woods' vocals still felt weirdly inert to me. But I did get a request for this with the assertion that it was her best album to date, certainly her shortest, and I've really wanted to like Jamila Woods, so I gave it a proper chance. And you know, there is a certain irony that on the song Boomerang, there's a line, "If you don't like me then, you won't like me now," when this is probably the first time she's come close to really clicking for me. Now, a big part of this is how Woods has improved as a presence behind the microphone. She's a lot less stiff. She rides the more organic percussion against the bubbling synths and watery guitars that will dabble across both funk and even folk quite well. And even if there's a studied reserve that keeps the emotionality more small scale and mild, there is a looseness to her cadences and flow and structure that reminds me a lot of how FKA Twigs shifted up on Capra songs. Not the first time I was reminded on a 17-song genre-bending R&B project with some hit-and-miss guest features and references to astrology. But while Woods might initially seem as capricious as Twigs was, in reality, this is an album where she's trying to learn to go with that flow in love stories and relationships, and it actually winds up considerably messier, where she's trying to tamp down on the emphasis that's placed on that sort of passion, where she might wind up falling too hard too fast and wind up getting taken advantage of, and yet playing it looser doesn't exactly seem like the right answer for her there either, as there is going to be guys who take advantage of that too in her good nature, and more often than not she will wind up breaking her own rules to chase that feeling of being loved, where by the end of the project she's starting to come to the realization that much of her journey, it's got to be internal, learning to love herself. And there are some potent moments coming out of that introspection, mostly coming from when she remarks on what that kind of love can mean on a song like I Miss All My Exes. The naturalistic passion really does manifest. But this is also a project that wants to carry the attitude of SZA or Summer Walker or Jhené Aiko, and while all the messy human drama is there, the confidence is not that convincing. And that would be fine if we got deeper moments of vulnerability or insight, but the writing and vocal expressiveness can feel thinner than it should. Again, and I'm not sure the production does her that many favors either. Some of this is the vocal mix or the percussion occasionally feeling a little slapdash, whereas sometimes the synths or especially the guitar tunings, they feel processed and just not as well blended as they should, even if they're trying to intentionally play up that awkwardness. So in the end, I'm kind of conflicted. I empathize a lot with giving more of yourself than you probably should when it's not working in the relationship, accepting those emotional shades of gray, and songs like Practice with Saba and Tiny Garden with Duendita, they are some of her best. I like those hooks a lot. But while her sound is at its closest to probably working for me, it's still not fully there, even if I do think it's her strongest and most lived-in project to date. And hell, I know for other audiences, especially women, it's probably going to have way more resonance, and thus, yeah, you know what? I'm okay recommending this. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to see more reviews, please be sure to like, share, drop comments, and subscribe. I know I'm probably going to be late to this, and I know this is the sort of project that I get some people are going to be very starkly personal about. All the respect in the world, I really tried to get into this. It just did not resonate the way I was hoping. Tough to say why. Beyond that though, anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. If you want to help support the channel or argue with me more directly on my Discord, link to my Patreon's right over there. And as always, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.